Okay, hi guys. So welcome to the Misgrade King's YouTube channel. So basically, I just started this channel. So for me personally, I will be doing Vanguard contents for you guys. So basically, deck profiles, gameplays, yeah. So for today, I'll be doing a Kagero premium deck profile. So I'll just give you guys a brief run through. So basically, currently Cardfight Vanguard has been split into three different formats. So the first one will be G era. So basically, G era is you're only able to use your old cards. So then next is standard. So it's only new cards. But as of recording this video, the only cards that are in standard format that are out right now is the two trial decks, the Dragonic Overlord and the IG Sandal. So there hasn't really been much standard stuff recently, but the set will be dropping in another week's time, which is very close. And finally is premium, which you are able to use both the new stuff and the old stuff together. So for today, I'll be going through a Kagero premium deck profile. So it basically is a deck profile. Basically, I've added a few stuff, like as you can see the gift marker from the neutral deck over to this deck. But when the set drop, I'll be making a few changes, which I'll be suggesting maybe you can make some changes after the set drops. So yeah, so let's get on the deck profile. So first, I don't think I have to go through three gift markers. Yeah. Then first the starter of choice. Lizard Soldier Conroe. I'm pretty sure Lizard Conroe has been a very staple starter for Overlord over the years because his skill is so straightforward. Okay, his first skill is he's a forerunner. So when you read over him, you get call him back to a Rearguard Circle. Then he has an X skill, Counter Blast 1, you may retire this unit, and you can search your deck for up to one grade 1 Kagero unit and reveal it to your opponent and add it to your hand. So he's a very versatile card. So basically you can get things like you may want to get a strike for the maybe let's say a grade 1 control if to fix your right target, which I will go through later on, or a perfect guard. So there's so many options. Or you can even fetch a Q trigger to get a G guard off later on. It's so versatile. So I still think control is the best option for overlords. As for the new Undun, the one from the trial deck, I feel that it's not really that viable. Is when you ride it, it's 6k base, yes, but when you ride it, you get to draw a card. So you take a card out from hand, ride it, and you draw one. So it's a +1 -1 equals to 0. So you okay +1 minus okay it's a +1 -1 equals 0. So you in a sense you break even after you ride, but being able in a sense you're gonna break even by a counter blast by retiring this unit to search something out to your hand. And that card can be anything, so I still think Conroe is still the best starter for Overlords as of now. Who knows, maybe they're gonna rework Conroe. I think they will. Next is the new Dragonic Overlord, the one from the trial deck. So I'll go over his skill. His skill is Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, X skill, so +1. If you do, you can give this unit plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. And then once per turn, Counter Blast 1. When this unit attacks hits, you may Counter Blast 1, discard 2 cards from your hand, and you may restand it and -1 drive. So yeah, I think to be honest, his first skill is quite okay. Assuming 1 is not GB restricted or 2 is not limit break restricted. So if you were to go first, I think he'll be quite good, and he has a force marker. So I'll go through what force marker does. In the new mechanic, there's three types of marker: force, protect, excel. But for this, I'll be going through what force marker do. When you ride this unit, you may assign a circle. Okay, be it Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. You can assign that circle plus 10,000 power during your turn. So okay, so back in the G era, in most games, the one who gets the first strike, which in this case, the second one to grade 3, will have I would say gain more benefit from it, as back in GRI, your strikes are the ones that can get you very crazy plays here and there. So, and there wasn't really much going for, like, like benefiting you if you were to go first. Like maybe it would say some older cards, like some limit break cards back in the day that's even GB restricted. Maybe they are your solutions, but they are not really viable because cards in that era tend to have a higher cost rate as compared to existing cards. So this card actually breaks even. So as of now, I can see why they came up with the force protect gift markers, because if you were to go first, right, you can safely ride into a grade 3, and you can assign a 10k somewhere, and furthermore you can soul blast one to give him a 10k during your turn. And so it pretty much, there is something going for if you were to get the first grade 3, right? It so called even things out, I would say. So 4 of him, and another thing is because he has Overlord in his card name, so that's very straightforward. Next, we are still going to be running Dragonic Overlord, the Destiny. So basically, his skill is Soul Blast 1. At the beginning of your right phase, or when this is placed on your Vanguard circle, you may choose a circle, except the Vanguard circle from either yours or your opponent. You may put all cards on that circle onto your drop zone, into a drop zone. But okay, I'll explain this. Cards, yes, but it does not affect gift markers. So right, because gift markers are not affected by any effect. So let's say perfect performance RNG, which bounces your circles, or purge himself that burns the whole circle. So yeah, he's still good because Kagero has always been a pressure slash control deck. So I don't really like having the Crusted Dragon, if I'm not wrong that name. It's the side grade that came with the trial deck. Yes, he has a gift marker, but then it loses I would say the control aspect of the deck, because you're losing a lot of retire power, because for the new trial deck, your retire power comes from your grade 2s or grade 1s. So in this case, I'm running quite a lot of the time I'm running the older ones. So the burn power is still there. And second skill, I forgot to go through that. When I strike a G unit, can be anything, you may counter blast 1. You may choose one opponent rear guard's retiree. Look at top 7. You can add an Overlord in his card name to your hand. So 4 of each. And just because I prefer having 9 grade 3 in Overlord, I'm running 1 the legend. So okay, for me personally, I think running 8 grade 3s is fine. But I'm choosing to run 9 because I'm kind of a bit more greedy, like wanting to like hit his on strike skill more often, so to get more Overlord. So that's why I put me in 9. But it doesn't necessarily has to be the legend. It can be anything, preferably any Overlord. If you see like Dominate being in the meta, maybe you can put in the Rebirth, because the Rebirth has the Lord skill, whereby if a unit that's not the same clan as this unit, he cannot attack. So basically for Rene, you're denying them one attack. So this last Overlord slot is up to you, but I'll go through the legend skill. So basically, his skill is once per turn, counter blast 1. Counter blast 1. Choose a grade 3. Okay, a grade 3 from your hand and discard it. Generation break 2. And this unit gets plus 15k, plus 1 grade and plus 1 drive, and gains the effect. When this unit attacks, after attacking a rear guard, you may discard 3, you may get it to restand. So it's kind of like the old Dragonic Overlord, whereby you hit after you're done with a rear guard, you restand, you hit another rear guard, restand, and hit a Vanguard. So sorry, my errors, but it's once per turn, so sorry. But for this, it's just 1 rear guard, then you go to Vanguard straight. So yeah. And his second skill is the on right, counter blast 1, slow blast 1. When this is placed on Vanguard circle, you may look at the top 5 and add a Flame Dragon into your hand. So it's a free plus for you. So he's quite decent. But as I said, if Nubatama would start running around in the meta, then maybe the Rebirth would be nice. You may deny your opponent Rene 1 attack. So yeah, 9 grade 3s in total. Next. Okay. 4 Glow Hitter. Okay. He's the 10k base that most archetype are getting, which has a skill. So I'll go through his effect. So basically his skill is when this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard circle, either if you have an Overlord Vanguard or you reveal Overlord from your hand. If not, he loses 5,000 power during your turn. Until end of turn. So sorry. So basically, after the first few sets, like after the Stargate booster, they start to remove this part of the skill already because they notice that players are like, I will choose not to show you, so I lose the 5k, I'll attack you, and I'll start to deny you damage. So after that, they start adding in restraint, like you cannot attack a Vanguard if you do not have let's say a certain condition met. So this minus 5k is no longer there, the restriction. And Rearguard skill, if you have a grade 4 Overlord is original card name, so it doesn't have it has to be the unit that you strew over, so it has to be the Destiny or the Ace. It cannot be Zion, but even though if you have the Destiny as your heart, it will not gain ability. And the basic ability is it gets plus 2,000 power for each card in your opponent's damage zone. So he's quite if opponents have 5 damage, he's a 20k beat stick on top. Even if you have 4 opponent has 4 damage, it still reaches magic number because as we all know, most of the main base power will be 12k or 13,000. So 18,000 makes a magic number as well. So 4 damage will be fine. And he's a 10k body, so that's why I still prefer to run him. Next is Burning Horn Overlord, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name. So yeah, so sorry. Okay, so I'll go through his skill. His skill is Soul Blast. Okay, Soul Blast 1. Choose a card from your hand. Okay, choose a card from your hand with Overlord is card you show it to opponent. If you do, you choose when this unit plays on Rearguard circle, you may choose a card in the same column as this unit. You may retire it. So he's your new burning. Who's that guy? Who's that guy? So sorry. Dragonic Burnout. Yes, correct. He's the new one, and the second skill is the same as the Glow Heater. Basically 2k for each damage your opponent has and have a great for original card name Overlord. So 4 of him. To be honest, this is very debatable depending on what support we get in the new set. We may have to cut him or remove him as a whole if there are better options to be running. But as of now, I still like him because of him being a beat stick as well. Next it will be Nehalem. This is the one from the legend deck. So yeah, I'll go through his skill. Generation Break 1 from Rearguard. If you have a card Overlord in his card name in your Vanguard circle, he gets plus 2,000 power when attacking. And he has a Rearguard skill is whenever your Vanguard Overlord attacks, a grade 4 or greater Overlord attacks, he gains plus 5,000 power. So if you were to put him up together with Zigenberg or the Ace, you'll be a 21k attacker, which I don't think is really that amazing, assuming the new magic number will be 22 or 23. So, but he's still a good beat stick after all. He's still making a more commit 10,000 power. You put it together with Force Marker, he's a 31k on his own for a restanding turn. So it's quite a lot of firepower that Overlord has. So that's why I still choose to play 3 of this. Next, Great Ones. So there's a lot of things that Conroe can actually dig out for you. So first one will be the 4 PG, which it will be Protect Op. So okay, I'll go over his skill. So basically his skill is if you were to perfect guard with him, if you have another copy of himself in the damage zone, you may counter charge one. Which to be currently debating if when the new set drops, I may want to switch all this out for the new Georgia Kanzen because if you were to remove this, you have more space for great ones to play. But at the same time, it all comes down to the meta at that point of time. If Oracle Think Time becomes the main thing, I don't think that switch would be a very good idea, as Ichikishima or Stillwater prevents you from guarding zeros and G-guard, so it makes yourself very vulnerable towards those stacks. So as of now, I'll be running Protect Up because counter charge is still very valuable to Overlord. So 4 of him. Next, okay. The next will be Lizard General Conroe. So he's the great one I mentioned earlier, and boy, he is a very good card and very essential to Overlord. So basically, okay, When this unit is placed on rearguard circle, you can you reveal a grade 3 from your hand, and you may search your deck for a grade 3 Overlord. Overlord, if I'm not wrong, I think it should be an Overlord. Then you reveal to your opponent, add it to your hand, and choose a card from your hand, discard it. So basically, he basically fixes your rights. Like example, if you were to, after let's say you're down with the force marker with him, you want to get off him as soon as possible into Destiny. So you can always search it out and maybe you can secure the right next turn. And also he gives your Vanguard Overlord his card name the skill. You retire him, you give your Vanguard Overlord his card name the skill. When this unit attacks, you may counter charge 2. So you put it together with Zigenberg or the Ace, you'll be counter charging 4. You take this out, you counter blast 2 for the Ace skill, you'll be getting a total of 4 counter blast back. So you'll be plus 4 minus 2 equals 2, so you would get extra 2 counter charge back. So he's a very essential card, as the counter charge engine in this deck is very weak. As if I were to take out Protect Orb and replace it with a draw trigger Perfect Guard, my counter charge engine will be very weak. So 4 of him, it has to be a 4 of him. Next, okay, the next grade 1 slot is kind of interesting because it's really up to you. So they are all strike forwarders, but they have different benefits. So these two of this is either Lava Flow or Highbringer. They are both strike forwarders, yes, but in 2 scenarios. Okay, I'll go over Protect Lava Flow. He's very straightforward. If when discarding for the cost of strike, he gets grade plus 2, so he's a grade 3 when paying for strike. And Eternal Bring, I don't really know his name, but I think it's Highbringer something. Griffin? I'm not sure. Okay, doesn't matter. So I'll go through his skill. When this is placed on rearguard circle, you may choose 2 grade 3 Overlord from drop zone. You send it back to the deck. You may shuffle your deck and you may draw one. So basically, he reloads your shot for the purge and gets you an extra card as well. And his second skill, when this is on the field, beginning of your right phase, you may retire him. And the next, and you can use him as a cost of strike to strike over G unit Overlord his card name. So as I said, they are both strike forwarders, but they both serve similar purposes. So maybe you can play two of him, 3 of Protect Orb. It's completely up to you. But just a heads up, Protect Orb is kind of hard to find. Not Protect Orb, Lava Flow. It's kind of hard to find because it's a very old card already. So if you really can't get your hands on this, you can run, let's say 4 of this, and maybe you can pump 1 of this up for some other great ones that releasing a new set. So it's completely up to you. And looking at the grade 1 lineup, right, there are so many things that Conroe can fetch out with you. This is why goes back to my point that Conroe is such a good card for a starter. There are so many options. You want counter charge to or fix the right target, you can get Conroe out. You want to try further? Lava Flow is for you. If you want a bit of defensive power, Protect Orb. That's why he's such a good card. Yeah. Okay. The trigger is the one that has been giving me a lot of trouble after playtesting a while. This is the one I find I'm most happy with, because right, as you guys have noticed, the new triggers are currently plus 10k power, which is a very insane power creep to the whole game in general. Because previously the power is like adding 5,000 power at a time. So the plus 10,000 power is so valuable. It could shut down so many plays in our current G format, like whatever existing cards that we have. Like let's say it shuts down Alexandro like so badly. Alexandro from Aqua Force. Rene, because for Rene, right, you're either going to commit a 10k shield or 15k shield minimum for when the second time they strike the Rene. But if you were to let it hit, you try check into at least one of these trigger, you will get adding plus 10,000 power, which makes it so much easier to defend it. But this is for currently as I'm recording this video. So I'm choosing to run 7 crits. So as I said, Kagero is a very pressuring deck. So put together with the purge, you will check 2 of these is adding 20,000 power. So I feel 7 crit is alright because I prefer having some draw engine in that, because after all this still has some control gimmick to it. So some draws is necessary. And it's kind of weird, but I'm currently playing 5 draws and one old Gatling Claw. I know it's a plus 5k shield trigger, but okay, I'll go through his skill. you may counterblast one. You put this unit into soul. You can choose one of your opponent grade 0 and retire it. So basically the idea of this card is to get rid of Forerunner. But the reason of me running more of him, right, is as you goes back to a point of grade 1s, you can fetch him out with Conroll. If you I know it's not really wise, but you're wasting 2 counterblasts to retire 1, which let's say maybe for blasters, getting rid of that Vanguard brain is gonna benefit you so much on later on. Like it could potentially mean your opponent missing their grade 2 right or grade 3 because they don't have a blasters. And so sorry for the background sound, so sorry. So one Gatling Claw is more, I feel that is one should be enough. And for draws, and as I said just now, I could substitute this for the PG draw triggers, so it's completely up to you. Finally, okay, it's been very questionable, but I know it's the heal triggers. So right, okay, it's either you get to use her or the the new girl. So sorry, I'm not sure if I have it. I should have it here. Give me a moment. Oh, so sorry. Yes, okay, I got it. So sorry for the wait. Okay, this heal trigger. So basically, if you when paying for the cost of a G Guardian, you can bind her and another heal unit from a drop zone, and you can either soul charge one or counter charge one. As I said, this deck's counter charge engine is very weak, so it's very debatable which one you choose to run, because if you were to prioritize power, you should be the option. But you want more resources, more balance also, I think the Unflipper will be the better option for you. So yeah, but for me personally, I choose to run with this because I still enjoy having the plus 10k power. Yeah, so that's why I'm still running. I choose to run the new one over the old one. So yeah. Next, moving on to the G zone, which has quite a few expensive stuff. Yeah. Okay. First is the 4 Destiny. Okay, this card is like, I would say, the main stride you'll be always striding into. So basically, So basically, his skill is once per turn, you choose a card in your G unit and turn it face up, and you choose a card with Overlord in his card and move it to soul. If you do, if Overlord has 4 or less damage, you deal them 1 damage. So and Generation Break 3, this unit's dry check equivalent to number of damage your opponent has. So I think it's quite straightforward, this card. So you put it together, force marker is the 36 attacker with a 5 drive, your opponent 5 damage. So it's like very pressurizing. I am running 3, but there is the option of you cutting one out to play 1 Drachma, which is the ultimate strike, which as I explained earlier, my current deck has counterblast issues, so that's why I chose not to run Drachma, because it costs 2 counterblasts. And yeah, so that's why I chose to play 3 Destiny. 3 Purge. Next G zone is Flare Arms Ziegenberg. Okay, he's your main pressure card / withstander. So basically, I'll go through his skill. Blaze. Okay, once per turn, you may soul blast one. So last one, choose a card in your G zone with the same name, turn it face up. If you do choose one opponent, rearguard, retire it. Then counterblast 1 when this unit is blazing. At the end of battle, when this unit attack, counterblast 1 if this unit is blazing. You may discard the same number of rearguards that your opponent currently has, and you can withstand it minus 2 drives. So if your opponent has empty field, you're getting a free stand. So it's essentially a 2 attacks with 1 drive on second one. So he's a more, I would say, consistent the ace, but the ace also has its own good points as well. Because of the new ruling, I'll go through it next. So 3 of this, I think 3 should be enough, because I think after you would have strike into him, maybe let's say once or twice, you'll be going to purge constantly already, because you'll be purging your opponent with like 36k, 5 drives, yeah. So it's just pressure your opponent to the 5 damage. That's why I still think 3 should be enough. Next, like Dragonic, Heavenly Supreme Emperor Dragon, Dragonic Overlord, the Ace. So basically, because new release kind of got a bit ridiculous, but I'll go by skill. Okay, so basically, you can counterblast to choose a card in the same name and turn it face up. If you do, okay, if you do, this unit gets it minuses one drive, so you are doing drive constantly, and the skill that when this after this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may discard an Overlord and another card from hand and restand it, and the once button skill, yes, restand it in plus 5,000 power. So why I say this card got busted in the new release, because right, the old rolling was once button skills. They are, if you have a chance to block it during that turn and you choose not to, you cannot use it for the rest of the turn. So basically, if you were to use his skills twice, you pay the cost twice, you can flip two face up, and the second one goes on standby mode. So if you are able to discard, if you have a total of 2 Overlord and 2 normal cards from hand, you can discard it. You can get 3 attacks off of him. So that's why I choose to play 3 of him. Which 3, okay, so basically he's a, maybe let's say he's a new Stark, I guess, but then yeah, I think he's a good card, which I still think you can run 3 of them. But if you don't really like that combo, maybe instead of taking out the Purge, you can take one of him out for Drachma. I don't see why not. It is an option as well. And next is Grave. Generally, he will be your first strike unless maybe you say G-Guarded. So basically his skill is Blazing. Counterblast 1, choose a card in your G-Zone and turn it face up. And this unit gains the auto skill. When this unit attacks, you may choose one of your opponent's rear guard and retire it. If you do, you can draw a card. So he's a free -1 to your opponent, +1 to yourself for yourself on the first turn. So I find him quite a good first strike. Yeah, that's why I choose to play one of him. Next is the Generation Break 8. He's a very good finisher for the deck. So basically, when this unit attacks, you retire all of your opponent rear guards, and if you do, all your rear guards plus 10,000 power. And if you were to retire 3 or more, this unit gets about 10k and a crit. You put it together with a Force Marker, it's a 46 attacker with a crit, which I find is quite scary to deal with sometimes. So one of him. Next is the G-Guards. Okay, the G-Guards is pretty much completely up to you, but this is the one I'm most happy with. You can play any one of the, any order or any one of them you want. First one is Defeat Flare. I have seen builds running 2 of these, but I think 1 should be enough. So basically, counterblast 1. When your opponent Vanguard attacks your Vanguard, you may send 2 Grade 3 Flame Dragon from your deck, your drop zone, the bottom of your deck. If you do, you can get to retire the whole of your opponent back row. So it screws his strategy so badly. You can screw up with the new generation rep Cho, which has a sentry back to withstand, or let's say maybe you can screw over Helios, which gets plus 5,000 power for each of their rear guards, which I find is a very good card. But when people are playing against Overlord, they'll tend not to want to cost so many rear guards, so to not lose too many of their pieces. So I would say 1 is alright, but 2 will be fine. I don't see why not. Next is Denial Griffin. So his skill is Counterblast 1. You choose the attacking unit and you can retire it. So basically, if your opponent, like, let's say Neo Nectar is swinging for like 90,000, you can just burn it off, like, go away. Like this is why 15k shield is worth so much more than it can mean way more than the 20k shield that your vanilla Huge Trigger offers. So 2 of him is fine. Or maybe it can help to stop Wise Man loops for you. Next is Absalam. So when your opponent Vanguard attacks your Vanguard, you may counterblast 1. You choose... Okay, for each of your opponent's open rear guard circle, he gets plus 10,000 power. So this card... So he's the few cards that gets you a very large shield, which this, to be honest, I think does quite well against the new Dragonic Waterfall, which is like pretty scary. You can't even guard his Sentinels at all. And it's like, put it together, Force Marker is at least a 30 to 40k beat stick on top of like plus 10k triggers that they may potentially get. So I feel that 1 of him is enough, because as I said, this deck has counterblast issues. So I'm trying to keep the counterblast in my G-Guards to quite a minimum, but running 2 will be fine. I don't see why not. The final card is Advanced Guard, which is kind of a weird choice, but it works. So basically, Soul Blast 1, choose a G-Guard and turn it face up. If you do, you may retire one of your opponent's Grade 1 rested unit. So basically, this is quite decent. I would say it's quite nice as well. So basically, you can... And the thing is, it's not restricted to whoever's getting attacked. So you can So you can just place it down. If you see, I'm playing Gear Chronicle, if you see a transit, just burn it off. A Gift Dimension Police, a Laurel getting restand, just burn that off. So it screws over with so many strategies, so one of them will be good. Yeah, so that's about it for my Kagero Premium deck profile. So if you have any comments for me or any suggestion that I can use to improve my channel. And so sorry for the camera quality. I know it's not very good, but I'll try to get over it as soon as possible. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.